Thank you all very much for coming. You're all very welcome. I'm going to make a few remarks, observations about the channel in its first year of broadcasting. And I'm going to hand over to Frank, and Frank's going to talk about the box. So, talking about this sort of takes us back to a year ago at the O2 when we announced the launch of this channel. Those of you who know Frank knows that he doesn't do things by halves, so of course we launched the channel in the midst of the worst recession ever, the bleakest outlook for financial markets, and it was going to be a huge task. And most of the people involved in this channel have been around pay television for a while. Simon and I were both at Sky in the early days and have been through a few others as well. And you know, for a channel to work, it's really got to resonate with the audience. And I'm very pleased to say that this channel has just proved that it does exactly that. The reaction from the viewers has been fantastic. It's been hugely positive, and I think that's down to a number of factors. And most importantly, it's down to the boxers, and I'm extremely pleased that we've got so many of the boxers here today. Thank you all very much for coming, and it's really down to these guys. That's what people want to watch on the channel. They want to watch live boxing, and they want to watch the best boxing. And with this team of fighters and with Frank, we've got the Premier League of boxing. And like Sky, that's what made Sky really work, having the Premier League. Well, we've got that here for boxing, and that's proving to be the key to our success. And as well as the UK fighters, we've also got to deal with Golden Boy in the US, who have the best of the American boxing, and we've got to deal with Sauerland in Germany for the best European boxing. So putting all that together, it's been a really, I think, compelling offering. And we put out some numbers about how many fights we've had on, over 50 live title fights, and that's proved to be a big attraction. It has meant that I'm able to report today that we've met all of our subscriber targets for the first year. Again, looking back a year ago, we talked about how many subscribers we were looking for, and we said we would need tens of thousands of subscribers to make this work. Well, we've got those. And now we're looking forward to the second year, and having that base of subscribers means that we can go on and put even bigger and better fights on next year. The other thing I think that's been important for this channel is that we've listened to our viewers and listened to our customers. And we know, we're getting to know the things they like. Obviously they like live fights. They also like the flexibility that we offer as a subscription package, so it's a very straightforward offering. There's no minimum term of subscription, but people like it and people stay on. We haven't had any great experience of people dropping off. People have stayed on when they've signed up. They like the value. It's £10 a month, and I think that's fantastic value for what we offer. And when you look back at the sort of prices that channels have charged and pay-per-view and all of that, everything we deliver, I think is fantastic. And we talk to our customers. We talk to our customers on Facebook, so our posts reach over 2 million Facebook users. We tweet, so our tweets have reached over 2.3 million Twitter followers. We put our videos on YouTube so people can watch highlights, things like the weigh-ins and some features around the fights. Over 1.35 million views on YouTube of our Box Nation footage. So it's all part of an interaction with the audience. It's all part of listening to the audience. It's all part of delivering the value, and that's all been part of the great experience we've had over the last year, and will continue to be part of the experience going forward. So once again, thanks to everybody who's supported the channel, thanks to the fighters who have fought on the channel, and before I hand over to Frank, I'd like just you to look at a short film that sets out some of the highlights of the first year.
Right, that wasn't bad, was it, for a year? We had a fantastic year, I think. We launched a channel. Say we're the new home of boxing, that's not quite true. We're the home of boxing. It was the new home of boxing last year. And we are where we are now, having, as Richard said, done all these various title fights and live shows over the past 12 months, which I think has been fabulous for our sport. And given the sport, I think, a new life. We've created competition. We've given a lot of boxers a lot of work, put on some fabulous fights for the fans and some events for the fans. And a lot of that couldn't have been done if it hadn't been for quite a few people I'd like to just mention, and people whose names probably never normally get a mention at these type of things, like Mike Goodall sitting there, who's been a fabulous supporter, done so much to help make this work. Ian McAllister, Bill Ives from Raynham Steel, who's been a sponsor and a big supporter of the channel, Input Video, all the guys that work there, Rawley, Bunsey, Richard Keys, Jim Rosenthal, Jim McMahon, Simon, Richard, everybody's been doing this, and we've done, to start this off, we couldn't have started it off, as Richard said, in a worse climate than we were in. And the climate we were in was the same for everybody in this country. You know, money's tight, it's too tight to mention, so most people didn't mention it. We did a deal with two shareholders when we were launching this channel, who were going to put some funds in, and 2 months into us being up and active, the money didn't appear, and it caused a big strain on us, and it tested a lot of people's patience, but we persevered. We injected a lot of cash, a lot of resources and work, and a lot of goodwill from people to get us where we are today. And we are now in an excellent position. Our subscription base is really good. It gives us the basis to now take it to the next level, which is in the next 12 months to double that. And I'm quite confident we will do it with the events that we've got coming up over the next year, and some of the signings that we're going to be announcing in the next month or so, which I think are going to be great for the channel. The best boxing from around the world, fabulous events from everywhere. Fights that would never get seen on TV over here if it wasn't for Box Nation. And undercard fights. You know, all these youngsters here, they're finding a fan base, they're getting seen in fights that never be seen on TV. You know, normally television, they show the main event and a couple of other fights. You get the whole show on Box Nation. My two youngsters here, they've done brilliantly with their Box Academy series. They've launched it, again, for young fighters. It's been good. They're going from strength to strength, and I'm quite sure in the next year or two, they'll be sitting here in the driver's seat, while I can hopefully be sitting up the back there with you guys with my feet up. You know, this channel is I can't tell you, it's been brilliant for boxing. It's been tough, but it's probably been the most exciting time I've ever had in the sport. It's been challenging. It's been a real rough, bumpy ride. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of heartache on the way, but we're here when a lot of people thought we were going to fall on our face at the first hurdle. We've proved them wrong, and as I say, this will go from strength to strength. Lots of fights coming up, and you know, fights that also had never seen light of day on TV, such as the amateur fights. We put the World Championships on from Azerbaijan. We've had the ABA finals, a lot of international fights. You know, you're getting to see the guys before they turn professional. And it's been, again, I think it's been great for them. And we'll be doing a number of amateur fights over the next 12 months. So from my point of view, it couldn't be better. You know, we probably put on, when I say some of the biggest fights, certainly over the summer, the David Haye, Derek Chisora fight, a lot of controversy. A lot of people turned up for it. We got great viewing figures for it. It was brilliant for the channel, you know, great for the channel, and we delivered what the fans wanted to see, which is real competitive live action. And on our birthday month, we've got, I think, the best domestic international world championship fight, whatever you want to call it, coming up, which is Ricky Burns against Kevin Mitchell, unfortunately not here today. That's a great fight. Not only is it a trade fight, it's the fight the fans want to see. It's a sellout, more or less a sellout in Scotland. And I think we're going to get a repeat at World Championship level of the Liam Walsh-Paul Appleby fight. If it's half as good as that, it'll be a great fight. And then we've got Nathan Cleverley, who's been so patient over the last few months. He's been a great you know, a very loyal and a great supporter of the channel and me, and I'm can't tell you how grateful I am to for his loyalty that he's shown over the past few months. He'll be in action in October. It's going to be a good fight for him down in Cardiff, and then next year he comes through that fight okay, we're going to see him in some really big unification matches, and I can assure you those fights will be delivered as I've always delivered for all the fighters with me, the big fights and the big opportunities. As I say, great time for all concerned. We really appreciate all your support. We appreciate all the press's support, the people who've got behind this. I hope they've seen what we're trying to do in a good light, and I hope they've seen it for the benefit of boxing, and more importantly, you know, as I say, for the fighters, it's another outlet for them to show their skills, giving them an opportunity to earn money and take themselves and their families hopefully into a real secure lifestyle. So, as I say, thanks very much for all of you, and appreciate it. I'm sure if you've got any questions, or if Simon would like to say a few words before we hand over, then you can ask your questions.
I haven't really got anything else to say other than what Richard and Frank have said. It's been a very, very exciting year. I would like to re-emphasise some of what Frank said in terms of thank you to some of our partners, to Arkiva, to Input Media particularly, and to Canis Media. These guys have stuck with us, and we're now in a position where we can crack on and hopefully double our subscriber base in the next year or so and really establish the channel for what it deserves to be. It's been a fantastic journey for us, and I think it's a fantastic thing for boxing. It has been the fastest growing subscription channel that this country has ever seen. It has, as far as an independent subscription channel, if you compare it to the football club channels, or the like, we are bigger and have been more successful much faster than any of those. So it's been a very, very good year for us, and we just want to continue and crack on from what we built. So, if anyone's got any questions?
Are there any questions?
Silence.
No questions? There's a question. Oh. Who's got?
The mic's coming.
It's a couple of questions for Simon, actually. One, Simon, is it right that if Andrew Flintoff is given a boxing licence, that you will show his debut on Box Nation? And the other question is, there's a buzz around that you might be involved with the boxing on the new BT Sports channel. What would that mean for Box Nation?
I'll deal with the first question first. Freddie Flintoff will be making a professional boxing debut on the 30th of November at the MEN. And Box Nation have secured the rights to that particular event. He is a legitimate and will be licensed as the same as any other boxer in the making of a professional debut. It's something that him and Barry McGuigan have been working on for a long time, and he is taking it extremely seriously. And we're delighted that it's going to be featured on Box Nation. And as far as the second question is concerned, I am a consultant to British Telecom. I've been a consultant to British Telecom for a while, and as you all are aware, they've secured some Premier League football rights, and I'm in my role as a consultant to British Telecom. I'm advising them on how they will set up their channel. As far as boxing is concerned on BT, I'm not aware of any aspirations that they have to show any boxing. They've secured some rugby rights recently, and they will be launching a channel. And it's my wish that both BT and Box Nation will sit side by side. Hope that answers your question.
By the way, I'm not promoting Freddie Flintoff's fight. I'm not promoting Freddie Flintoff's fight, just so you know. Yes. I don't know. He's applied for it, so I understand. So it'll be whether he gets it or not. For me, and I'll be quite blunt about it, that's car crash television. You know, that's the reason people will watch it. They're either going to see this fella, he can do it or he can't. I'm in the real boxing business, but you know, I'm not taking anything away from him. It's up to the channel. You know, I'm involved with the channel, and I can see the reason why that show's been bought. But it'd be interesting to see where he goes. I'm sure David Price isn't quaking in his boots at the moment. Although I've heard he's taken up cricket, David. So I think it's being sorted out at the moment, so I understand. Barry McGuigan's quite heavily involved in it.
It's a venture between Sky One, believe it or not, who are following Freddie's launch into professional boxing, and Barry McGuigan. So it's a venture between Sky One, why would it be on Box Nation?
Because we got in there first. They're doing a documentary, and the rights became available, and they were snapped up.
David, what do you think about a 30-something-year-old cricketer becoming a heavyweight boxer? It's not, you've been in it a long time.
Yeah. No, I think there's a couple of different ways of looking at it. I mean, on the one hand, you could say, well, he's entitled as much as anyone else is to try it out and put a pair of gloves on, because you do get some people come into professional boxing late. But if it's just for some type of PR stunt for a documentary, on the other hand, you could say it's a little bit disrespectful to boxing, that he think he can just walk up and get a license and have a fight, because the reality is, you know, he could get hurt, provided he put someone in front of him who can stand up and throw a punch back. But in this day and age, it's all about getting viewing figures and people to watch it, and I think because of the name he brings, his household name, and he's a big lad, isn't he? So, you know, it's going to create the excitement for viewers to watch it, and as Frank Warren's just said, it is car crash TV, and that's what's going to get people watching it.
I've got a question for Frank over here. Frank, hello Frank. Frank, you're talking about it being sort of good days again for British boxing. How much was the Olympics also sort of played into that? Because obviously the Team GB boxing had a pretty good games. And also, are you excited by the emergence of the likes of Anthony Joshua? Thank you.
I thought the Olympics were superb. You know, the amateurs, there's a real good feel-good factor about it. You know, I've never been a big supporter of women's boxing, but I thought the girls were brilliant, and it seemed they got more, you know, they got more publicity, more people were talking about them than the guys. So I'm obviously out of date. Maybe these two guys to the left are interested in that, but it's. I just think all around, I think it's been a great year for boxing. The Olympics was great for this country. You know, any sport's great. There's always a feel-good factor about something, about sport. You know, good sport makes everybody feel good. It gives them something to talk about. And Anthony Joshua, I honestly believe I think he is a fighter that should turn professional as soon as possible. I think he's a great prospect. He's got a good chin. He can punch. He's brave. He's got desire. He's got a few faults that need to be ironed out, and I don't think they're going to get ironed out in the Olympics. And I don't see the point of him staying amateur for another 4 years to go to Brazil. All he's going to be doing for the next couple of years is fighting the same guys he's fought in the Olympics and the same guys he fought in the World Amateur Games in Azerbaijan this year. So, you know, I hope him and some of the other guys will turn over, because like always, the sport needs fresh blood. It needs exciting fighters, and he certainly is one of the young, exciting fighters out there who I think would make a great addition to the professional ranks. We've also got a couple of other title fights which are not on here, which we won purse bid for yesterday. One is Frankie Gavin against Junior Widder, so that's going to be a big step up for Frankie. He's been very patient, and now it's his time to deliver. So we'll be announcing the date for that in October, in the next few days or so.
Another one that's not listed as well is Paul Butler against John Donnelly. That's been confirmed today for the British title on the 9th of November in Liverpool.
Are there any more questions? No? Well, thanks very much for joining us, and we hope to see you here this time next year for our second anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you.